Hey, welcome back to Advice with Prince. Today's guest, she's a brand ambassador, an online influencer, a dancer. She does it all. Welcome, Miss Jackie Elaine. Jackie, what's up?
Hello, everybody, and good afternoon, and thank God it's Friday.
It is Friday when we're taping this, yes. How are you today?
Not bad, I can't complain. How are you, and how's everyone else out there during this? 2020 has been quite an interesting year, so I hope everyone is holding up well.
Yes, 2020 has been very interesting.
Yes, yes. I
How's, how's the year for you?
I've been holding up pretty well, but I've had my times where it's like, what happened? Who would have ever thought when we were celebrating the new year, like, bam, like a smack in the face, like,
You never know.
yeah, it's just I understand things happen. We cannot. There's things that are out of our control that we cannot control at all. But this has really been. Everybody was affected. Parents, children, everything. This has been a lot. So, and when I say a lot, like there was a time where, okay, as far as us being on lockdown, to me, I still feel like we're on lockdown. So as far as staying in the house, I'm a homebody person.
Me too.
And so that's why before that, okay, prior to I was, working. I was actually working at H&M for it would have been a little over 5.5 years, and that goes into everybody know H&M is fast fashion retail. So I do have a fashion background. Before that, that kind of picked up in the trait of my family as well. But after that, it was just like okay, we have to stay in the house. But even by being a homebody and I have anxiety, it's like, okay, I need to get at the house. I need to get at the house. I need to get at the house. Like, this is too much. It was days where I literally just wanted to drive just to go to the supermarket because it was,
Yeah.
yeah, just to get some air.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
still what we need.
100%.
We need to get out the house.
Yes. Yeah, cause like you said, I'm a homebody as well, but I'm like, okay,
Time
this
to get outside. Yeah. Like,
this a little too much home.
yeah, exactly. Like, it's just too much. Like, okay, you can sit on your porch.
No.
Do it every day. Right. No, like it was just no, like I need to get out. And our only limitations were you can only go here. You can only go there. And I'm like, that's okay, I guess.
You know what it was with me? It was somebody telling me what I couldn't do. I'm like, I don't like that.
Exactly. I don't like being controlled.
Yes.
That's not it. Although things are out of our control, things do happen. Sometimes you have to be prepared for the worst. So you have people, for example, that have went through their life savings, people who have lost their businesses. So this is a sad time. And for example, too, like they said, unemployment, for example, we're at the highest rate like this compared to the Great Depression. This is sad. People still to see everything now that's going on. Every time you get on social media, every time you go to the market, you see it on newsstands. Every time you turn on TV, it's like just make it stop, make it stop.
Mm-hmm.
You people have conspiracy theories. You've had some people who have gotten into it with others. I'm not into politics. I'm not big on politics. However, I do vote. Okay.
Yep. Go vote.
Yeah, vote because you can make a difference. I feel like people who try to say, "Oh, I don't like this and that," and I say, "Did you vote?" Okay, well, be quiet. Don't talk to me. So we gotta we gotta work together, and then with the protesting, that's it's like everything it happened in tempos. It's like how do we go from a pandemic to
Mm-hmm.
the economy just taking
Right. Right.
and went from something that was going on. We've always had racism going on, and that's going to forever go on.
Mm-hmm.
But and like I tell people, racism you're not born that way. It starts. You're taught that it starts in a household.
Exactly. Yeah.
So Like, how does one person, and when I say one person, everyone has their own president. Everybody, some people still say, well, Barack is my president, whether he's in office or not. And it's like, how does one man bring back all of this at once? How does one person do this and have this much control? That's scary.
Yeah.
So it's like we were caged, and now they're trying to divide us. And it's like this should be. I hope this is an eye-opening experience for a lot of people, including children. And then some people are like, "Well, what do you tell your children? The truth." I don't have children. I have nieces, but you tell them the truth what's going on. So I hope when they go back to school that they start teaching this in class.
Mm.
I've already said this generation is so sad, and now I hope that they start. Don't lie. Tell your children, and I hope the teachers they can use this. I hope that this is something that this is 2020 is going down in the books. Okay.
Oh yeah.
People I've heard about their anxiety. I've heard about people who start getting depressed. Like, and those are things that triggers when for example, now we're sliding into people who have mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how to take that, or their anxiety got worse, and then you had to where some people couldn't even go to their doctors or whatnot because okay, when they shut down, medical services were always supposed to be open from what I was told. There was
Mm-hmm.
where I couldn't even go, my appointments was canceled or pushed back months later, so I was in pain when I couldn't even get my injections for okay, I have cervical degenerative disc disease, so I had to wait 3 months after. So now I'm going to always be behind on getting my injections now because, okay, I had to wait. You have to wait. Why? Now it's still where, is this the new normal? Do we have to always go and wear masks and sit in the car and wait for your appointment to get called back in? Secretary of State, you got to make an appointment. People can't even go into what? September, October.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go everywhere. This is the funniest thing I've ever heard of. That makes no sense. So now we have to wear masks everywhere. You go into a restaurant with your mask on just to sit at the table to take it back off.
Look, look, look. The whole thing is.
And I don't know anything. I'm not saying that, but it's like something just seems off here. I was told they said too the virus can't survive in the heat. So how did the numbers go back up?
You know what? It's a lot of questions, and unfortunately, I don't think well, people have the answers, but that's a whole nother show. So so I want to know from you, how are you so how are you getting through your everyday life? Cause you said that you had spinal bifida.
My,
So
my mental illness and how it like this situation triggered my mental illness conditions as far as okay, my spinal condition. I was not able to get. I think I had an appointment that was set in April. Okay, so the official pandemic and everything started shutting down was like March 14th, I believe. And I'm really good with dates and remembering things because that's what my job said. Okay, hey, I think I think the rule was it's either you quit and say, hey, you're not comfortable working these conditions, or wait till the store shut down. So I think most places was like around mid March or whatever.
yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well this sucks. So April I had my appointment. Oh, we can't see you. I said, what do you mean? This is huh? So I was in pain. For example, the last 2 days, like my spine has been killing me, like the whole left side, like a sharp shooting pain. So a lot of people don't know what cervical degenerative disc disease is. Some people do. And if I'm talking too fast, it's cervical degenerative disc disease. I'm speaking, to the audience. And it's basically, as I was told, in civilian terms, it's like arthritis in the spine. So as I get older, my condition is going to worsen. So it's kind of like how you have brake pads on a car,
Mhm.
and the spaces in between our spine is
Yeah.
going to be deteriorating. I
Mm.
don't get surgery because, and my doctor told me too, like, hey, the spine is a very fragile area, which it is. Our spine helps us move, stand up, everything. So I was told, and I know people who have had, back surgery or spinal surgery who have had great doctors, but most of the time you see people who died on the table or they end up paralyzed. So at my age right now, who's to say I might not get older and might not say, okay, I want to go through with it? Because they haven't put rods and stuff in your spine. So at the time, like when I get my injections with our, well, at first I was getting epidural injections. And then I started getting trigger point injections because I'm like, okay, this is helping, this is not helping. And even with me getting the injections, it's not a, oh my God, look, I'm saved, I'm relieved now. No, it's only pain management. It's only to help with the relief.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, I cannot sit, stand, drive, lay for or anything longer than I'll say maybe close to maybe 2 hours max without getting uncomfortable. Or there's been times where I've been crying, like I can't sleep straight through the night. Eventually, like since I'm sitting in the chair, eventually I'll start to, if we had like a long session or whatnot, like I have to get up and start stretching, moving around. Even watching a movie, I would have to just sit and be in a movie theater. I would have to like I have when I drive, I have to use like a it's called like a lumbar pillow.
Yeah, yeah.
In my car. Yeah, so I can't. If we was to go out of town somewhere, I cannot be. I can drive, but I have to have somebody with me where I can rotate. So that's kind of limits me on my life activities as long as like I have migraines. Also, I'm 31 years old. I know somebody's like going to be looking at this like, wow, or somebody's going to say, wow, I'm older and I don't have all these conditions. Nobody, we're not chosen to say, okay, I'm going to pick this girl to have, not to bring up anything religious or whatnot. I would say I'm more spiritual, but okay, she's going to have these conditions. I have migraines that are terrible. I had those since I was a little girl, 12 years old. Um, and that's like a neurological disorder, which sometimes um, messes with your sleep. So most people who are like most neurologists usually have a background in sleep study. I don't know if they all do, but I know mine do. So now I've got to the point where I've had a medication that works for me, and I can get sleep at night. So I have migraine medication that I take. Also, too, like I said, dealing with the pandemic. Okay, I'm like, okay, the first, it's not gonna go on that long. Then I was like, okay, whoa, for my anxiety. I was having panic attacks. I also have, I want to say social anxiety. I only go to certain places that I know
Yeah.
that I can get in and out of, where I know the grocery store by heart. So, like in my general area that I live in, I don't go anywhere over here unless it's like Starbucks or something. But even still, like I'll make a mobile order so I can get in and out. Or if I go to a grocery store, I know by heart, I like to go where I can get in and out. I don't like crowds. I do not like anyone sitting behind me on like as the driver. I don't like anyone sitting behind me. I don't like anyone walking behind me if I'm like walking somewhere. So you gotta walk on the side of me, or I'll stop walking so you can walk past me. I do not like what do I want to say? I don't like wearing hoods over my head. I know somebody probably like what? I have a thing with um okay, OCD. It can be a form of like a disorder also. Well, some people kind of look at it like ADHD. I don't know. It falls into still a category. So I have a thing where if I'm leaving out, I have to open my door one, two, three, and close my door
Yeah.
just to make sure, like, oh my God, or I have to make sure all the eyes are off on the stove.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, what? And that's just, or if I see lint on my carpet or crumbs on the counter, like I'll literally. It used to be really bad, but I have to realize like, okay, I'm driving myself crazy.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what? I think it's good to talk about that though, because there are people all over the world who deal with this stuff, and like they don't get to talk about it. And
Even
so,
though, what was it, Monk? He was like that.
yeah, so like you talking about it is helping someone else, and like you okay, so you have 95,000 followers on Instagram.
Yes.
How in the world does someone work so hard and cause look at this, you dance, um, you're a brand ambassador, influencer. How do you get that kind of drive to build that kind of a brand that you have? You have a whole brand.
Okay.
How,
Well, I did have. This is gonna be funny. I call Facebook Fedbook because I originally started with Facebook. I know
okay.
it. Um, but when you have a business page on Instagram, you kind of gotta have a Facebook. So mine's like deactivated, but it's not active. Back then, my Facebook name was Real Eyes, Real Eyes, Real Lies.
Oh, I get it. Okay, I got you. I got you.
Yes. So my following was came from that, and that's when I was modeling. I used to model. I was a freelancer. Everybody know what freelancing is. Like when you're a freelance artist, you don't have any management and everything. So I want to say, I consider myself like an entrepreneur and self-made. Now let me stop right there because you have people who say, "Oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a boss. I'm this and that," and we all still work for somebody as entrepreneurs. We work for the consumers.
Yep.
We work for our customers. Everybody has you're still working for, like when I have collaborations, it's either I'm working together with this company or and I still have to work for my followers.
Mm-hmm.
So I started off with that. So basically most of my brand started my basically I am the brand. It's like I'm the walking billboard.
Yes.
So then I got me Instagram. So of course naturally most of my followers converted over to
Mm-hmm.
Facebook follow converted over to Instagram.
Yeah.
Originally, my first name on there was Ball Chronicles. Everyone know my hair has been cut on and off for I would say at least 4 to 5 years. My hair can get cut off, grown back, cut off, grown back. I usually care for short hair or usually dark hair, but I've changed my look and I had every hairstyle you could think of. So most of my following on Instagram came from, of course, modeling. I used to work for Playboy. I used to do hosting.
So you were
Face.
a bunny? You were a bunny?
Yes, they always say once a bunny, always a bunny.
How about that?
Okay, so when you apply for Playboy, anyone can go on the website. Um, and I originally applied to be a playmate. Everyone knows that it's very hard when you're an African American to work with Playboy. And that's not by any means saying that Playboy is racist because they're not. Halle Berry has worked with Playboy. Um, I don't know who else had, but there has been African American models. But it's very hard because Playboy has their own brand. They has their own preference of what they're looking for. So, so I applied several times over and over and over. Like I want to be a playmate. You have certain girls who want to be on Bad Girls Club. Everybody has something like, oh, I want to do this so bad. So finally I get an email back saying, hey, um, we don't have any openings or we can't offer you a playmate position, but we can offer you like you can be a cam girl for Playboy. So I said, okay, well, what is, well, I know what a cam girl is. I said, well, what is that? What are the requirements? So it wasn't anything like raunchy or, okay, like the difference between Hustlers and Playboy is Hustlers magazine is a little like, whoa, like out there, like you see everything. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
an adult. Also, too, my family knew about this. And when I say that, it's like I'm an adult. You make your own decisions. So it wasn't like it was hidden or anything like that. So I worked for them for maybe close to 2 years. So when Playboy came, after that, it was kind of like everything started happening. Like, whoa, you work for Playboy? So I also had an interview with, Big Grig here on the radio station off of High 175.
No, no, I don't know him, but
Oh, you hear him on the radio? Big Grig from off of High 175? Well, I think,
you know what? Be good, cause
yeah,
I'm not a big video guy. No, so I wouldn't know.
yeah, he's a radio personality. So my first interview was with exclusive interview was with him, because it was kind of like, whoa, somebody from Detroit is working with Playboy, regardless of whatever you're doing, Playmate, whatever. That was like a big thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, and so that was, I had kind of like parties, congratulations, this and that, and then after that, I started getting um I've always marketed myself, branding. I always submitted to casting calls. All my photo shoots I paid for by myself.
Mm.
I did my own concepts, as far as when I say that, like my own. Okay, I want to have this kind of photo shoot, or I want to have this. But I did have photographers that I work with, two specifically, two specific photographers. It was Patrick and David, and they're both here in Michigan, and they do great work. I'm not saying there's other photographers out there, and also Hills, but he is in Vegas now. So I had also had two where if they said, "Hey, I want to build my portfolio," or "I want to do this type of shoot," so there was times where it would be, as you would call, like time for print. You know, your time for print photos or whatnot, TCF or TFC or whatever. So I would do that, and basically like being a go getter. So I would have certain photos. When you want to submit for castings, you have to have a headshot, a swimsuit shot, or you have to have, a full body or whatnot and everything. So when I submitted for Playboy, they didn't want any Photoshop or nothing. They wanted straight up headshot, side to side. Also, Playboy does not like a lot of tattoos, so I didn't have a lot of tattoos then, like I have now. Like I didn't have this. This is me, and I didn't.
You have.
Well, this is supposed to be a sleeve, but it's kind of like spread it out. So it's one, two. Is one on my thigh with skull. I like skulls, as you can see, and then the recent one is the one that's in the back of my neck, which is my Hamza tattoo, which is
Mm-hmm.
this also too. And Hamza is like the hand of the hand of Fatima, which is kind of like where it's like blind the aggressor. It's like protection. But I don't even know if you can really see this. If I like, can you see it?
Yeah, yep, yep.
Yeah. So that's my most recent tattoo. That was before shutdown.
Did
And
that hurt?
no, see, here's the thing. Because okay, now when I go get my trigger point injections, usually they give the patients a specific medication to help you stay calm. So I don't need that because I have a high pain tolerance. So I sit there and I'm getting my trigger point injections like, oh my gosh, this feels so good because I'm always in pain and they're sitting there like all the time. I've been going there for like almost 2 years now, and my doctor is like, "You're so crazy," compared to a man that's next door screaming like, and I'm coming out like, "All right, so you guys have 3 months." So yeah,
Mm.
I'm talking about the needle is like, so I get 10,
You get 10 though?
10 injections. Yes,
Wow.
this it was painful to like. It's actually on my Instagram. You can see me getting it done. So I did tell the artist like, "Hey, I want you to start right here, but stop at the top of my spine." So I
Mm-hmm.
knew how big I wanted it, and I knew I didn't want it to go any further because then, but it got done in like an hour. So yeah, and I got it done that way because it's like sometimes if I decide like, okay, I don't want a haircut, or that was a mess too, not having a haircut during the pandemic. So, but luckily I changed my looks up. I wear wigs. I'm just such an open book, like not open where everyone knows my business, but open like, hey, you can wear wigs, you can do this. Like even when I went bald, okay, now let's go back to because I like to go off subject, but it's not
Yeah,
it's not off subject. It's just that you ask me one thing and then I go like I'm all about communication.
they're good though.
So my following. So my first name was Ball Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first cut my hair, when I went completely, I'm talking about like skinhead bald. It was for my grandmother who had pancreatic cancer, and I basically, like I said, I do believe there's somebody up there. Like I believe in God, But I also, and I have friends that are, you know, Muslim, you know, Orthodox, whatever, and I have no issues with that. But I said a prayer and I said, look, she's going through chemo. If I cut my hair off, and hopefully she'll lose a strand of hair. And I promise you, during chemo, my grandmother never lost a strand of hair. So that was a sacrifice. I cut my hair, and that's on my page where I competed in the pageant. Actually, that photo was in my room. I didn't win the pageant, and I felt like maybe, you know, they weren't ready to see somebody to win who didn't have hair because it's not your typical. The world still has a stereotype of what they want, what they think women should look like. Like they think women should have hair, and and these are the times we living in. They think everyone should have long hair, or some people should have blonde hair, blue eyes, and that's fine. But everyone has their preference. Everybody wants to be small. Everybody want to be thick. People, get cosmetic surgery. I have nothing against any of that. If that's what makes somebody happy, all for it.
Yeah.
I remember for the longest time, I wanted to get bigger boobs because I was working with Playboy. So I felt like, okay, I want to look like these girls. We all have had our insecurities. Some people still do. It just comes naturally. It comes with the territory. Especially me when I was in the modeling industry.
Passion, romance, sex, sin, pain, and death. Love unexpected. When you think you know your partner, think again.